Morning, everyone, to the daily drop-in morning show with the Teach Better team, where we are live every single morning, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And we are really excited to be here at 7 a.m. Eastern. We have a whole theme that we're going to be able to recap today. It is Friday, January 28th. We have good news. We have Brad Hughes, and we have some holidays that we're going to be celebrating. So please feel free to kick off our show by sharing that you are here in the comments, or of course, if you're watching this after the fact, either on YouTube, maybe you're listening on Teach Better Talk podcast. We appreciate you. We appreciate you liking the video, sharing the stream, and continuing to be an active member in starting your morning with the Teach Better team. We are going to be right back. We have a whole lot to get to. Everyone, happy Friday, January 28th. Brad, how are you?
Morning, Ray. I'm doing really well. Fired up this morning. I've heard of Blue Mondays, Ray, but it looks like you and I coordinated for a Blue Friday, and there's nothing blue about our lineup tonight. We've got lots of good news. We've got lots of hope, inspiration, excitement to share with everybody, and hopefully we're getting everyone off to a great morning this Friday. And how are you? How's your morning going?
I love it. No, I'm doing well, getting ready to, wake up and get ready for the day. I appreciate our Fridays together, Brad. You know that. I feel like there's a little bit at the end of the week where I'm sure every educator feels this way too. They love what they do, but you kind of hope that the alarm doesn't need to go off as early, right, on a Friday. But I have to tell you, and I have felt this from August. I know it's so strange, but every time I have that feeling, like Thursday night, I'm like, ugh, is there any way that someone could sub in for daily drop-in? I'd love to be able to sleep in another hour. I'm like, no, wait, Brad Hughes is on the show. I definitely want to be there.
That's amazing. That gives me a lift. And last night I had the opportunity to get fired up and talk with a great group of school leaders with a video cast called Unlock the Middle. And some of our discussion was around just being intentional about sharing your excitement and appreciation for being in the company of others. And it's never been needed more, especially as you face a Friday. Your energy is low, your stress is high. Think about the people you're looking forward to seeing. And then when you see them, be intentional about letting them know how glad you are to be in their company.
I love the Unlock the Middle crew. We should invite them on daily drop-in. I think that would be so fun to have them on.
Consider that done. That'll be a task for me today. I'll reach out to those folks and make sure they have an invitation to join you or me or both.
I love it. Or, we have a lot of things we could do with them. I love that crew over there. For whatever reason, the style of how they interview just really captivates me every time I catch any of their episodes. And they've interviewed a number of members of the Teach Better team. I'm excited to hear your episode, Brad.
Oh, I know. Thanks. I was proud and excited to be invited to join. And as I mentioned, just really, really fired up. The conversation was electric, and it was all aligned on improving school communities so that we can improve things for kids. And each school leader, to a person just like me, is committed to loving the adults that are serving and caring for kids so that they can impart that love and care to kids in return.
So fun. I love it. I can't wait to dive more into that. That's so fun. I did want to give a shout out for those of you that have been following the show on a daily basis, or maybe a little bit just on a consistent basis. Good morning to everyone who's here right now. Jeff Gargas challenged me to wear blue today. So Brad, I just want a little bit of aha and congrats that I remembered this early in the morning to put on a blue shirt.
Ray, I remember that challenge and I remember that commitment that you were going to wear blue on Friday for Brad. So again, I was looking forward to our Blue Friday. And yeah, not only did you remember, looks great. Holy cow.
I appreciate it, Brad. I think you look fabulous too. What a great way to start a Friday, right?
Exactly. Compliments, affirmations, energy, and a whole lot of shenanigans are likely in store for us today on Friday.
Yeah, I know we usually get started slow, Brad, ask each other about our plans. I do want to get to that, but let's talk about this question. What are your highlights for today? Does that mean what do we have planned for our docket today? What's your day look like?
It's starting well, of course, with the daily drop in and then a drive into work. From there, getting the school day underway. And then one of the things I look forward to most, Ray, is is starting our day with our school announcements. And yesterday, as I shared with the Unlock the Middle crew last night, I was really intentional about getting on the announcements and saying, hey, you know who's a proud principal? Me. I'm a proud principal. And the reason is simple. It's each and every one of you, each student, each staff member. Make me proud with your energy, your care, your patience, your persistence. And what I'm hoping to do is to impart that capacity and to give that push to our educators to do just the same thing. And finally, Ray, to inspire our kids to do the same thing. Just recognize the awesomeness around you and just take a moment to share how it makes you feel. And so, getting that day off, that's what I look forward to, are those announcements. And believe me, there are some shenanigans on our morning announcements at Forestville Public School. That's going to be a highlight. We'll just let the highlights roll from there.
I love it. So exciting. I know Adam's sharing that his excitement is that they have a book fair today, which is always a good teacher day when there's a book fair in the building. I love that.
We have a school photo day today, Ray. Our first school photo day, and gosh, I can't remember. Of course, the pandemic interrupted who can come and go from our schools significantly. So today, school photo day. Each kid gets a photo, and we've got a great plan ahead for that. We hope.
Well, I love that, Brad. Make sure you say cheese when you take your photo.
Yeah, Ray, in Canadian public schools, we must say cheese in both official languages. So I'll say both cheese and fromage. I completely made that up. That is not an official rule, but again, shenanigans.
I love it. Brad, I do love starting my Friday with you. After our show this morning, I get to hop directly over to work with a few teachers in Virginia, which I'm really excited about. Obviously, it's virtual, which is unfortunate. I hope to get in this building at some point soon. But for those of you who follow Evan Robb over on social media, he's an incredible principal, very active member of the Teach Better community. I get to hang out with his middle school staff and do a little bit of a Q&A coaching session after this. And then I know that I'm really going to be careful, Brad, hold me accountable here, but I have 3 projects that really, really need my attention today that drastically impact our Teach Better community that I have to kind of do the final pieces of with our incredible team. There's so many hands in these projects. Can I give a few shout outs? Do you mind?
Oh, absolutely. I'm here for the shout outs.
All right. An easy one, because I have to be very careful about what I'm allowed to share and what I'm not allowed to share. We're at the wire here. An easy one to share is our admin mastermind has a new time that it's launching on Tuesdays. And for those of you that participate, we have an AM session and a PM session. Our sessions are not only adjusting slightly. Our AM session is going to be an hour earlier. So it will start at 8 a.m. Eastern. And then our evening session starts at 7 a.m. Eastern. 7 p.m. Eastern. It's in the evening. But I really love those 2 sessions. And I know you know this already, but they're getting a little bit of a facelift. We have new moderators that are coming in. Dave Schmidt is going to be still extremely active, but he is going to be taking on the role of not only moderating, but be an active participant. You are stepping into that major, major mentor role in the evening session, which I'm so excited about. And then obviously we have our good friend, Dr. Brian Zwemke, who's going to be facilitating our AM session starting this week. So that is something that we are so excited to continue sharing with our network, because this new time in the morning and also these new facilitators should add just a ton of great kind of like collaborative opportunities for these sessions.
Very excited about the opportunity, Ray. And I know Dr. Dave Schmidt, one of my mentors and good friends, and learning the craft of sharing and championing great discussion among school leaders. My path to becoming a mentor and a moderator of the evening mastermind was built on his foundation of love, care, support, and provocation and challenging conversations when it's needed to stretch our thinking, because when we stretch our thinking, we can grow our practice. And hugely excited to partner with Dr. Brian Zwemke. And I'm hoping that between the morning and evening sessions, we have a continued dynamic duo of morning and evening conversation. And I'm really excited to see, Ray, what the crossovers might be with that change in that time on Tuesday mornings. It's possible that Brian and I could also attend each other's masterminds and contribute to the conversation. It reminds me of your day coming up with Dr. Rob's crew. I mean, when we participate as leaders or facilitators, we're in the company of really amazing people and great learning communities. So as much as we offer as a moderator or a presenter facilitator, we have everything to gain too. And that knowledge, that continual cycle of knowledge is what makes the Teach Better team, the Teach Better mindset so incredibly exciting.
Oh, it's going to be such an exciting project. I'm excited that it launches on Tuesday. If you're in Mastermind, you probably already got those details. No spoilers there, but just want to do some final details today on that project. Got to make sure that we have reminder emails and so continuing to update just a few things to celebrate you and obviously Brian in this area. So very excited to work on that project today. For those of you who want to register, if you're a leader in any capacity, we'd love to have you in our admin mastermind. You can register over at teachbetter.com/mastermind. And like I said, there's 2 sessions. So it's really allows a lot of different voices to be shared. And Brad, as you know, in that PM session, and it happens sometimes in the AM session, but in that PM session, that is an international crew that comes and hangs out.
Yeah, it sure is. We've got the U.S. and Canada covered for sure. We have had Guatemala, Colombia, Australia, and we welcome folks from around the corners of the globe to join us. And it's a commitment that you can make once every so often, or it's come when you can, because there's going to be value added with everybody participating when they can. And we recognize that, especially in the evening session, school leaders, and as you mentioned, leaders of any capacity in our buildings, school leaders, aspiring leaders, leadership is for everyone. So all welcome when you can, and come in, join us for great conversation. As much as you bring is as much as you're going to receive out of it. So look forward to welcoming everyone from all over the place.
So exciting. Oh, so exciting. So these other 2 projects I'm working on, Brad, I'm going to be very careful what I'm allowed to share, because all these details come out within the next few days. And I just know our Teach Better team is going to be disappointed if I spoil it a few days too early. So one of the projects that you already know about is that 12-hour live is on February 26th. That's already been announced. It is streaming right here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And we are so excited to be able to literally, for free, do 12 hours of professional development. The thing that isn't announced yet, though, Brad, is the agenda, the lineup, and the topics that are going to be discussed. As many of you may know, if you've participated in a 12-hour live, our themes change every half an hour to hour. We bring on new guests, new faces every half an hour to every hour. And so really, if you sit through the whole 12 hours, you're going to get professional development from almost 70 to 80 different people. It's really fun to be able to celebrate the faces that are going to come on, the themes that are going to be discussed, and that will be releasing within the next 2 weeks. So you'll be able to kind of go through the 12-hour agenda and kind of identify what segments you really want to make sure you catch. So that will be a part of what I'm working on today as well.
That's going to be a huge reveal, Ray. And I just I don't know how you sleep at night with all of the excitement of all of these big announcements and, guiding and getting these incredible folks together. And I can see a huge opportunity for folks to tune in as often as they can on that 12-hour live. And again, to build community, to take value away, but also to build connections with folks that are, working and living and learning as hard as and as dedicated as you are. So I'm looking forward to that big reveal. When's that coming up?
I love it. So that will be out. I don't think we officially told anybody, but I'll just tell everybody here, if you're listening live with us, it will come out within the next 2 weeks. It's not next week. It's probably the week after. Shout out to Katie Miglin, who literally makes all this come together. She is the brain behind this whole project. And so I don't know how we would stay organized or even be able to execute this without her expertise. So love all that Katie's put into this project. Very excited to release the lineup. And for those of you who's not participated, it is honestly 12 hours of professional development, dialogue, giggles, activities. There's a really intentional structure. So when you see that agenda, you're going to see some big, how do I emphasize this without telling you what it is? You're going to see some big emphasis on a few specific things we want to make sure you're able to take away. And one thing I love, Brad, is you can start by watching it on your phone in the morning, maybe listening as you're brushing your teeth in the morning, kind of like you do for Daily Drop-In. We start bright and early at 8 a.m. Eastern. And then throughout your day, maybe you throw 12-hour up on your, television on YouTube, or maybe throw it on your computer in the background while you're cooking lunch. So as you go through these 12 hours of your day, you can take Teach Better with you the whole Saturday.
What's incredible too about these opportunities, Ray, is that they're available live and later. If you miss a segment that you wish you could have seen, or if you've got plans with the family on a ski hill or doing your regular errands, you can't make part of it, it's going to be available later. And so that's incredible. I mean, we're gathering these incredible minds and passions together, and it's going to be available live or later.
I will say in the comments, there's people that are giving shout outs. I will say, I mentioned the guests, I mentioned the 12 hours, I mentioned the topics. There are also so many giveaways. I actually have a responsibility today to kind of go through and count how many giveaways, try and add up the dollar amount of how many giveaways, not only Teach Better team giveaways, but Teach Better community members donations for giveaways. I'm not kidding, Brad, and I really am not trying to be over dramatic. I think we're giving away thousands of dollars, and we are. I mean, I can't say this without having the number, but the giveaways, I think we're going to give away the most things during this 12-hour that we've ever given away before.
I'm just going to go back to Katie Miglin's comment. It is going to be epic. And we're going to be weaving threads of surprises, the surprise interactions with guests, surprise merchandise and swag for you. And again, the opportunity to engage you, just as we're doing today with StreamYard, to engage you in the conversation is also what makes this kind of event so epic. There's Adam hoping for a lifetime Academy membership. There we go.
We've given those away in the past, Adam. So as you know, keep your eyes out because the giveaways are kind of insane. Just like that one. That really shouldn't be a giveaway. Jeff Gargis, who made that up, I just am shocked. Our Academy membership is $9 a month. We publish a course every single month. And so there's there's so many opportunities here to learn, and it just continues and continues. The lifetime memberships that we've been able to give away literally gives educators access to our academy, any course, any workshop, any resource in there for their entire life. Those are the types of giveaways we have. That's just what I'm saying. It's crazy.
Ray, I see on my agenda, I was supposed to look into seeing if we could get a free ride in the Teach Better helicopter. And I want to let you know, unfortunately, I've fallen short. There was a problem with the vinyl wrap on the helicopter. It's not quite ready yet. So maybe 12-hour live 2023, the Teach Better helicopter will be ready. But helipad construction has begun there in the Chicagoland area, if I'm not mistaken, Ray.
I love it. Yeah, we really want to make sure that Teach Better Green really is on the entire helicopter. If it's a little off, it's not going to have the same vibe. I get it.
Ray, do you have any inns in the Chicago area? Maybe one of those incredible skyscrapers in Chicago would agree to light up Teach Better Green for our 12-hour live.
The Willis Tower does lights all the time for major holidays. And, during Christmas, it turns green and red. And I think they should do a Teach Better Green. I couldn't agree more. I'll make a phone call, buddy. I'll make a phone call.
I think at the bare minimum, Ray, I still have our house lights, our Christmas lights on the house. I'll make sure they are flashing Teach Better Green for 12-hour live. If nothing else, satellites will pick up a tiny house in Waterloo, Ontario, Canada, flashing green for the Teach Better team.
I love it. I do want to mention one more project. Is that okay, Brad? And then I know we have to transition here.
Absolutely.
Okay. The other project I'm working on today is that the Teach Better team has quite a lineup of educators that are going to be at the Teach Better conference October 14th and 15th. And I want to clarify, we have a whole slew of educators that we're very excited to announce have already committed to speaking, being there, keynoting, being a featured speaker. But that is not our whole lineup. We are still waiting for you listening right now to submit your proposal. Proposals open on March 1st. And so we are going to slowly start releasing some familiar faces, some faces that I'm sure you're going to be excited to see at the event as early as literally Monday. Monday, we are making the announcement of the first few speakers that will be at the event. And then that continues week to week to week to week, literally through May. We're going to be announcing some familiar faces. So the hope, Brad, is that as we release these incredible educators that have committed to being at the event, you not only get excited to register, early bird registration ends at the end of February, but also maybe you submit to present a session. And then by the time we finish up announcing kind of like our last speakers, those keynotes that are going to be a part of the event, you will be announced as a speaker as well, because you'll know if your session has been accepted. So it's going to be a journey, friends, over the next few months, being able to share that excitement.
Ray, our viewers and listeners here on the Daily Drop-In might have already seen some promotional campaign material coming out showing the silhouettes of the speakers. They're sort of in shadow, their profile. So I, for one, am excited to see the lineup over the coming days really take shape, Ray.
I will say we will be announcing it on Mondays. So if you are not consistent in showing up for Daily Drop-In on Mondays, You may want to add that to your calendar because Jeff and I are excited to kind of release those details together. And then obviously see them all over social media. But Brad, I won't lie, the silhouette image that you're talking about, I think is going to be like the funniest game for us to play because those literally are the silhouettes of their photos. So if you are on social media and you catch a photo of somebody that you think might be a keynote or featured speaker on the Teach Better conference, I bet you can kind of compare some details because those are them. So you might be able to see some familiar faces. Brad, the only person that I have had guess one correctly so far in my direct messages was there is a photo on that silhouette of the one and only Dr. Dave Schmidt. He's not necessarily counting as a speaker, but we do have him on the image. And I had somebody that was very excited that they identify his silhouette. They were so excited.
Dave's silhouette is unmistakable, especially he's always accompanied with a baseball hat, and a keen-eyed viewer saw maybe the peak of that cap, and I was prompted to take a look at that too. So hats off to Dr. Dave Schmidt, and hats off to that viewer that could identify him, and looking forward to more great reveals. No longer will these folks be in the shadows, Ray. They'll be out front for everyone to celebrate.
For those of you who want to participate in our silhouette game, we'll obviously be doing that throughout the entire release process. I will give you a spoiler that if you're looking for familiar silhouettes from the Teach Better team, we did incorporate a few members of the team in the silhouettes just to kind of throw you off. Dave being one of them. Jeff is on there somewhere. Chad is on there somewhere. And I am on there somewhere. But everyone else is not a member of the Teach Better team. So keep your eyes out for those options. It'll be really fun, Brad. That's all my spoilers today. That's all I got.
That's incredible. I know you love the spoilers, and I just love the excitement and the authenticity with which you share all of the great things happening. And I know that it's a team effort, and so each of us has a responsibility to share the excitement and to really look forward to these amazing offerings, Ray, coming up in the coming weeks. Outstanding.
It's going to be so fun, Brad. I cannot wait for us all to be together and for all of you to prepare your session and session proposals. We can't wait to have you. Brad, I really would love to, I know we're running behind. So thank you for letting me talk about those 3 big projects going on with the team, in addition to hundreds of other things we're working on to support all of you. Should we get into some good news, which I always think like good news, Brad Hughes is really what I always think of. But
fantastic. I'm ready for the good news. Let's cue up the transition and we'll see everyone on the other side.
Let's do it. We'll see you on the other side. All right, everyone, we're getting into some good news. And I just want to clarify in the comments, Lori is sharing her excitement to hear Dr. Dave Schmidt speak at the conference. I love that. In case there was any question at all, you will absolutely not only get to see Dr. Dave Schmidt speak at the Teach Better conference, but also you will be able to meet so many members of the Teach Better team. While they may not be on that graphic, we are hoping for every single member of the Teach Better team to be present at this conference. You'll be able to see Katie Miglin, Brianne Fennell. Brad, I hope that you're going to be there. Have you committed? Are you showing up?
100%. I will be there, and I'm looking forward, just like you said, to connecting with the team in person and just to sharing the excitement. Like I've got all the goosies thinking about it right now, Ray.
It's going to be so fun. So if there was any question at all, if you head over to teachbetter.com, if you want to go see team members' faces, you can go see all 26 team members on the team that will have already committed to being at the conference. And then I hope that we see as many ambassadors as possible, as many Speakers Network members as possible, as many podcasters as possible. It's going to be a Teach Better family party. So make sure that you are on the list because you are a part of our network. If you are listening to the Daily Drop-In, we appreciate you being here. We cannot wait to see you in October in person in Ohio. That's going to be so exciting. Mm-hmm. You can see all those details I should have mentioned at teachbetterconference.com. Brad, we have some great holidays today, and I do want to start us off by asking you, do you have a favorite flower?
Yes. My favorite flower is the rose. My parents grew roses, and the yellow rose is my favorite flower. Do you have one?
You know, I do love flowers. Flowers are so wonderful. I love a sunflower. I think those are always been my favorite. I just love how large they are. They're so colorful. Today, though, isn't National Sunflower Day. It's not National Rose Day. But I will tell you, I do like these flowers too. It's National Daisy Day.
Oh, I love the daisy too. I
Gotta
love
love it,
those.
Dave.
Yeah, they're harbingers of spring, hope. They're like little
I love
sunny
it.
pals that are just out saying hi to you when you. I love daisies.
I love it. It's also a holiday that, Brad, I think we've been celebrating for the last 25 minutes. It's National Have Fun at Work Day. We're having fun.
We sure are. And part of our discussion last night too, Ray, on Unlock the Middle, just to come back for a brief second, was on finding the fun. Being intentional about finding the fun in your environment. And when you find it, you can share it. It just makes your work day so much easier and so much more fun.
I will say it's National Fun Day at work, which I think all educators can always find a good giggle at work. I just believe there's nothing like joking around with the sarcastic humor with an 11-year-old throughout your day. And as a middle school educator at heart, that's my favorite. But I know we have educators from around the world and all different grade levels listening in right now. And I know that there's a lot of fun to be had at work. This other holiday, though, I feel like goes hand in hand. It is also World Kazoo Day. And if you've ever blown into a kazoo, there's no way you can't have fun.
I'm a kazoo maestro. I mean, I might not have had the violin talent or learned to play the saxophone or even the grand piano, but anybody can make music with a kazoo, and you can find the fun by finding a friend to kazoo with. They're zany and they're wonderful.
I love it. It is also World Lego Day. So I know a lot of educators will be celebrating that incredible toy that has transformed so many classrooms and creativity. So definitely enjoy Lego Day. And
Ray,
then
I hear excitement is building for that holiday today, and you might have heard about the Lego store. Maybe I think new Lego store in Chicago opening up, and I hear that people have been lined up for blocks.
so fun. I love it. Last but not least, please make sure you start your morning with a blueberry pancake because blueberry pancakes are celebrating today. And it's definitely delicious. Definitely a great way to start.
Blueberry pancakes, some soft butter, and some maple syrup. I can just imagine the taste and the incredible aroma, and that would be a hearty warm up for anybody's morning today.
Love it. I love it. Brad, what is our good news story all about today? I had a good feeling about today.
Ray, I'm wondering if you can recall any times maybe recently where you've been looking for something only to find that it was much closer by than you thought. It was sort of hiding in plain sight.
Every day in my closet when I'm looking for a shirt, I always am like looking for something specific, searching, and then you realize it's literally hung right there, right in front of your face.
Yeah, and this story is about something gigantic that was found hidden in plain sight, Ray. I'm not sure how you lose a planet, but astronomers have discovered a gas giant planet that was hidden from typical stargazing tools. It's got about the same diameter as Jupiter, but it's about 3 times more massive, Ray. 105 times the mass of the planet Earth in elements, heavier than helium and hydrogen. Nothing quite like it exists in our solar system, and it was hiding in plain sight. A group of astronomers and eagle-eyed citizen scientists discovered it, and the connection that I made here is that there are so many incredible wonders that are probably hiding in plain sight around us in our schools, in our families, in our communities. And so, empowering each other to look past the forest for the trees and to see, the answers, the joys, the wonders, the excitement is much likely closer than you think, Ray. And what's happening now as we're teaching and leading and learning in a pandemic is that the stress can necessarily interrupt our ability to take stock and to step back and take space and just take a look at and wonder at the incredible things around us. We talked about finding fun. The fun and the joy is no further away than the nearest student in your life, and just taking a pause to interact with them. So gas giant hiding in plain sight. My challenge invitation to educators and everyone listening and watching is to take a look around your environment and see what joys and solutions and wonders might be hiding closer than you think if you just stop and smell the daisies, Ray.
Yes. Oh my gosh. What a perfect challenge for a Friday on Daisy Day, of course, as well. But what a perfect challenge for us to take a moment and ensure that we are considering that incredible. Brad, I would love to get your thoughts on this week's theme. Do you mind if we transition to Brainstorm Bank? Because I'm dying to pick your brain.
I'm dying to transition. Thank you.
Here we go. Good morning, everyone. As we continue to celebrate holidays, good news stories, and everything in between, we always love to transition into our Brainstorm Bank, which is our intentional time to ask all of you, hey friends, do you need anything? We are always here to brainstorm with you. And while Brad and I definitely do not promise to have the answer, we absolutely want to be a part of the process and the journey in supporting you in any way humanly possible. Brad, this week's theme, in addition to waiting if there's any questions in our comments live, this week's theme really was fascinating to be able to dive into. It had to do with the concept of being authentic in not only what your choices are as an educator, but ensuring that it aligns to your beliefs. I'd love to get your thoughts on this topic this week.
Where your values, actions, and beliefs align, Ray, that's authenticity. Leading, living, learning, and educating with authenticity means that you are willing and vulnerable enough to admit and share the fact that you're a multifaceted human being with foibles and faults, but also you're striving to bring your best self, and to provide, your daily best to every interaction. So, the conversation as it unrolled this week, really, I mean, I could see and hear and feel that our guests, their beliefs, values, and actions were in high alignment. And not only were they aligned, they're striving to remain aligned through interactions with others.
No, I was very, very excited for our conversation this week. And obviously, we'll be able to recap this here in just a bit. But I felt like it was a really wonderful topic for our team to reflect on, because a lot of the work that the Teach Better team does, at least what we say, and I really do want to make sure that the team holds up to what we say, is really what aligns to our actions. Is we really believe in listening to our community, being authentic in the people that we have representing this incredible brand that is focused on being better, focusing on growth, right? A little bit better today than we were yesterday, and a little bit better tomorrow than we were today. And so when I think of authenticity, it was not only a reminder of how important it is to ensure that in the classroom, at a leadership level, or in our school buildings, what we say is really aligned with our beliefs, but really a message for any type of educator in any setting, whether it be on the Teach Better team or in another, to be able to reflect on the same concept, not only in a professional way, but in a personal life as well.
Absolutely. When we talk about authenticity, to me, it goes back to our commitments to really be intentional about the thought, care, and attention we're giving to each interaction. As our friend and colleague Liv Chen would say, every interaction is an opportunity to uplift others. And so if you set that intention and you make it intentional to seek the uplift in every interaction and maybe leave everyone feeling just a little bit better or more supported or more heard or understood, that is a great step-by-step way to build authenticity throughout your day. And then that authenticity builds as your reputation for someone who is reliable, responsible, receptive, but also vulnerable and is willing to admit mistakes, setbacks, failures, and learn from them. What we want to do within our communities is to grow that authenticity. So we're modeling the way forward. We're aligning our actions, values, and beliefs. And school leaders or teacher leaders or anyone involved in building the community forward acknowledges that is a constant journey. And it's okay to challenge what we're doing, reflecting on what our community's goals and foundational beliefs, what are those non-negotiables? And when you've determined them, continually checking to see if your practice is aligned with them is part of a healthy school culture.
You know, Brad, earlier this week and then throughout the week, we kind of kept going back to this concept of being aware of your core beliefs, being aware of those core pillars of who you are, so that you can evaluate if your choices and decisions throughout the week align to those pillars. I know that we, had a post-it that we talked about, right? Write 3 to 5 things on a post-it that really represent you, and then throw it at the top of your screen today, throughout your week, and do some reflection. If you were thinking about the core values that you have that you really feel like make up the one and only Brad Hughes, what do you think one of those would be?
One of them is absolutely a motto that I have, and that is let no one pass by unacknowledged. I recognize that as I make my way in the world, from my drive to work to entering the school building to making my way through the school building, or even on the weekends, if I'm in the grocery store or the pharmacy or wherever it is, I mean, people all around are craving connection, and whether or not they say it or you're aware of it, we all need just that moment of recognition, even from strangers. It can be an eye contact, it can be a softening of the eyes, it can be a nod, a smile. It can be a conversation that you strike up, and I love to do this. And I happen to hang out in grocery stores where they love to have conversations at the till. So it doesn't take long. It just takes a little bit of intention to really say, hey, you're doing an incredible job. I appreciate you. It could be picking up your coffee at the drive-through, Ray, or it could be, the way someone brightened your day. I got a Bitmoji message from a valued staff member that just came at an unexpected and really welcome time, and just making sure that that was acknowledged back to her to say, hey, that really made my day. So that's a core belief of mine, is striving to let no one pass by unacknowledged.
Brad, something I love about that core pillar that you really carry with you, and I see that modeled every time I have an interaction with you. I see that that's something you truly believe in and constantly have on the back of your mind to ensure is instilled in your day-to-day actions, is that that's something, and I don't mean to discredit it or belittle it, but that is something relatively easy for us all to do. Even when we are stressed, even when we are overwhelmed, we can choose to ensure that others feel seen. And making others feel seen looks a variety of ways, which I love that you're able to talk about. This isn't just a moment to say, all right, now you're committed to having a 5-minute conversation with every single person in your way, and it's going to take time, and you're going to have to commit a lot of time and energy to it. We're talking about a smile, a head nod, an acknowledgement of their existence. And what an incredible opportunity we have here to say, yeah, I'm going to put that into my day-to-day core beliefs, that regardless of where I am and who these people are, that I can ensure that they feel seen by me today. It's really a powerful element, Brad.
Thanks, Ray. And just like that gas planet hiding in plain sight, those opportunities, as you said, are all around us moment to moment. And so the opportunities to grow love in a school community and to grow connection, they're there all along if we have the opportunity, or make the intentional opportunity. If we find ourselves with blinders on and stress filled, self-talk, I've got to do this first and then next and then finally, that is completely human and understandable. We needn't beat ourselves up about that. But if you happen to catch yourself passing by a colleague's classroom, it's okay to walk back a few steps and say, hey, great to see you.
Yeah, or step back and smile and wave, make a funny face. I mean, Lori right here is talking about saying hello to students in the hallway. We forget how important that is, how important it is that when you're walking down the hallway, maybe during a class, so it's not really a busy time, and you see a student walking, say good morning, say hello, smile. I know with masks, sometimes you feel like that's not enough, but it is. Do a little wave. These are small intentional things that make a massive impact. And I love this reminder today, Brad. I think it's a really wonderful opportunity that we all have as educators to spread some joy, spread some positivity. And I think that intentional choice of, regardless of what headspace you may be in, to make this a priority for others is also going to lift you up a little bit, which is wonderful.
Ray, is there time for me to build on that with just 2 quick ideas?
I love it. I want to hear it.
The first, Ray, is I think that we can do almost anything with a script. And so what I have in my inner soundtrack is a script. When I'm interacting with folks, I'm using a script that sounds like this. Is there anything that I need to know or that I can do to support you or your work today? It doesn't always sound as formal as that, but it comes out in a way that says, anything that you can share with me that I need to know to support you, I'm here for you. And it's important to pause and wait and really, I mean it, I want to know. But then the invitation as you leave is, if there's nothing, keep me in mind if anything does come up. And I've found that planting that seed really does come back, because people will later share, you know what, I really wish I'd mentioned X. And then that's so the scripting. So if you have a script, that can help you in your journey to that too.
Yeah, I love that, because with your script, it means however many things you're juggling in your mind, you can pull that kind of out of your filing cabinet in your brain and say, okay, I know exactly what I want to make sure I say, and it's going to come across clearly to the person I'm communicating with. And I love this, Brad. You're really just opening a door, and you're not even saying that they need to walk in the door. You're not saying that they need to necessarily have something for you, but it's open. So when and if they need it, they know that you've provided that opportunity. That's 2 very powerful moments. And what a simple opportunity to be able to offer to people.
Ray, I've just put Lori's comment back here about saying hello as you pass students in the hallway, and you built on that. And I strongly believe that our most important work right now in the pandemic is to establish or to reestablish our school communities as places of emotional, and physical safety in our communities, just as they were before the pandemic. And we can do that by making sure that each adult is interacting with each child positively on a daily basis. So, a child will naturally be drawn to the affinity that they develop with their homeroom teacher or classroom teacher. But what an amazing school community would exist if every adult was interacting positively and genuinely with every child. So every child knows that every adult has their back. Every adult is there for them. If they're in distress or in need, it's safe for them to turn to any adult because, hey, just the other day, that adult who I don't know well, I recognize them as someone that said, "Hey, you're looking great today. How are you feeling?" Or, "Hey, how is your day going?" So that's another way that we can, we're really ensuring safety for our kids and communities just by that simple act of saying hello to kids that aren't in our classrooms.
Yeah, I think it's such an impact. There was something we used to do, which I know sounds so silly now, but you have to remember, you make decisions in the classroom and you're just like, ugh. Now thinking back, like what a silly concept. But during a stressful day, if in school, you can kind of feel anxiety sometimes in the building. There's just maybe people are running around. There's a lot on people's minds. Maybe it's a stressful month or a stressful period of time in the school. And anytime we'd have that feeling, we had a little symbol that we used to do in our classroom that a student would be able to say, like, I feel that there's stress in this room. I feel that there's anxiety in this room. And we used to joke, it can take 2 seconds. We used to all stop and be like, take a big deep breath in together and let it out. And our joke was you take a big deep breath in, you let it out, and you make eye contact with somebody and you make a goofy face and you say, "Good morning." Like that's it. And so this moment of 2 seconds in a classroom is obviously valuable time. We want to make sure that we are, using all of our time appropriately, but it really did just like reset the stress in the room. And as we continue to go through this very challenging time in education, if any of you need like a universal big deep breath in and breath out and make a goofy face and say good morning, I say it's a great way to add a giggle to your day and make sure everybody feels seen. That's very cool.
I love that you were intentional about just naming the tension in the room, because how many times do we just kind of press forward? Okay, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. Just name what's going on. Just guys, the tension in here, you could cut it with a knife. Let's just take a deep breath in. Let's do a dance. Let's wiggle. Let's whatever it is. It doesn't sound silly to me at all, Ray. It sounds like an intentional way to say, hey, I'm here for you. We're here for each other. We've got this. Let's reset and move on. But just name it. Just name it and do something about it.
Lots of good strategies for Friday. I love this as we're heading into a wonderful day ahead. Brad, are we ready for our favorite jingle to recap the week and preview what's coming next week?
100%, Ray.
All right. This is our favorite jingle, guys. This would be a great moment to do that big deep breath in. Let's get going.
I'll do it.
Oh my gosh, Brad, I love that jingle. And I also have a puppy right in front of me that is dying to sit in my chair. And I just want to clarify, there's no room in this chair for a dog to be sitting right now.
Happiness is a warm puppy, according to Charles Schultz and Charlie Brown, Ray. And do you have 2 with you right now or just 1?
I do. I have 2 with me always. I can't get rid of them, but one is beautifully sleeping in a dog bed, and obviously listening, very deeply to the morning show. But one is just adamant that they need to come sit in this chair, and this chair is made for one person, Brad. It is not made for an adult human at 6:44 Central Time in the morning and a fluffy dog. There's no space up here.
That's right. The insistence is what I find so endearing and captivating. And the companionship that's what you need at 6:47 Central, is just that companionship, that undying admiration and desire to connect, even if you can't invite your puppy up.
I guess so, friends. I hope you all have an eager, fluffy puppy dying for your attention this morning. And if not, trust me, I have one here that you're welcome to. Just DM me and I'll send him over to you. I promise.
Rent a pup, courtesy of Ray Hewart.
Exactly. And I got 2, so I feel like I really can offer as much as possible to all of our network.
Always got one on standby. That's perfect.
Absolutely. Brad, you have one as well. I feel like there's some opportunity here.
Yeah, a puppy exchange.
That's perfect. Brad, we obviously have had some great conversations this week. I'd love to be able to highlight a few of those moments in our week and then also preview what's coming up for next week, which with a theme that I think is really going to connect with our network. First and foremost, we obviously started Monday morning with the one and only Jeff Gargas. In that conversation, I'd really challenge you to not only make sure you put that on your list for future weeks, because we have some big announcements coming on Mondays, but also, it's always fun to be able to goof around with Jeff.
Jeff always adds value, and I'll tell you, you are a tremendous and dynamic duo. I mean, your authenticity, your heart, your shenanigans that you have with Jeff. I mean, your relationship really plays out positively with your interaction. I find myself laughing all the way to work, either on the way to or home from work, just with your banter, and it's an awesome way to kickstart the week.
I appreciate that, Brad. It's always fun to goof around with Jeff. He's the best. So
He really
on
is.
on Tuesday, though, we had Justin join us. Justin is the assistant principal. He had a huge giveaway of bracelets with his he has a side project that he begun a few years ago where he really has this mission to unite educators. And his part in doing that is he has made a beautiful bracelet design that he ships out to educators worldwide. And his hope is that as you're walking down the street, you see another person with their bracelet, and that really bonds, the incredible work that educators are doing. His company is currently called Flex for Teachers, and he gave away over 30 bracelets. I had everyone's name and their email address, and he's sending all those out for free. But if you missed that opportunity, I do want to let you know, Flex for Teachers, the number 4, gives away bracelets on a daily basis for free. So there is no reason that even if you missed Tuesday's show that you shouldn't go over to their website and grab a bracelet.
Talk about authenticity, Ray. Putting your putting your vision forward and getting it out there, and it's making it tangible for teachers to connect and celebrate.
No, I love it. On Wednesday, we had Selena join us. Selena joined us about halfway through the show, so feel free to fast forward. Don't have to listen to me speaking, but Selena was a wonderful addition to that conversation. And she was able to kind of bring in her authentic self and her beliefs through that dialogue during our Brainstorm Bank and also our Good News story. And she had some incredible recommendations we were able to provide at the end of that show if you're interested in looking for more resources as well. And then Thursday, of course, we had the one and only James Miles, fresh professor. He had a lot of information to share. He had quite an experience getting into education. So talk about authenticity. This guy had lived a life and was all about sharing what he's learned. So I love the work that he's doing.
I love our capacity to gather so many different voices working in so many aspects of education or service to kids, and bring them together around a theme that really inspires us, Ray, as hosts and moderators, but also our guests, listeners, and viewers to reflect on the great things that they do and to celebrate each other. We've never needed it more as educators to have a chance to come together.
I love it. I love it. Our next week theme, I think, is going to provide a lot of tactical strategies to everybody in our network because it's dedicated to parent communication. We really want to refresh our practices, add a little bit of flair to maybe how we've been communicating, reflect on how that's going. And then if we see any gaps, if we see any concerns in what we've been doing thus far, provide our community with a few minor tweaks they may want to incorporate into their parent communication strategies so that they're able to continue to elevate their work, their transparency and authenticity to their parents that are obviously a vital component of our student success. I know in a roundtable that I was participating in yesterday with administrators, there was a lot of discussion around how administrators were communicating with parents. And I was able to kind of mention, Brad, that they should tune into the Daily Drop-In next week because I think we're going to have some great dialogue.
Partnership with parents and caregivers, Ray, is probably one of the greatest untapped resources that we have in our bank of strategies as school leaders and as teachers. It's leveraging those relationships, not necessarily to solve problems or to request that parents or caregivers solve problems that we're encountering with students, because let's face it, we own the responsibilities and we own the relationships that are occurring at school. But whenever you can seek better understanding and clarity with a parent or caregiver as your partner in making life and making learning better for your kids, so much the better. Can't wait for next week.
Oh, it's going to be so good. We do have a few guests that I want to give a shout out to. If you're excited to hear from some specific Teach Better family members and some new faces. We have some incredible ones next week. As a reminder, if you are on the Teach Better team email list, you already are probably getting morning daily drop-in updates every Monday. We love to give you kind of the lineup of the week so you can connect with them and also plan your week accordingly. As we did mention, we have a big announcement happening on Monday with the one and only Jeff Gargas joining the Daily Drop-In. On Tuesday, though, we have an incredible guest. We have Jessica Reed, who is a member of our ambassador family. She also participates in our Edupreneur Mastermind, which is something that the Teach Better team facilitates on Mondays and Thursdays. And she is going to be such a fun perspective because she works with parents in a special education lens. And I think that she's going to be able to give a lot of different ideas, dynamic suggestions for how we can continue to bring our parents into that dialogue. On Wednesday, we have Julie Henson joining us. I have loved her. I've followed her for so many years, but I don't think that she's ever been a part of a Teach Better event. So while I feel very familiar with her work, I'm not sure that she's gotten involved in this community. So I'm excited to bring her in as a new face, even though those of you who have built your PLNs might already have her in your network. She's an incredible educator that's going to be able to lend some perspective. And then, of course, on Thursday, we have, and she's been here with us all morning, Brad, we have Holly Stewart joining us. So Holly Stewart, also an ambassador in our family, but again, an incredible educator, will be bringing her perspective as well. And then we're going to wrap it up on Friday.
It really is a gift to wrap up the week with you, Ray, and to reflect on just the awesomeness, just the awesome value. It's like like a mosaic of insight and inspiration that we have an opportunity to wrap up every Friday. So I'm excited that we get to do this again 1 week from today and reflect on the great conversations around parent and caregiver engagement and how to involve them as partners from all those different lenses.
I cannot wait. For those of you that are headed into a really, really wonderful Friday, we want to wish you the best Friday ever. I know that you've probably had some great Fridays in your career. I feel like Fridays are always something worth noting in our professional experience, but I just have a feeling, Brad, it's National Daisy Day. I think this is going to be the best Friday that they've had so far. I've just got a gut feeling on this one.
Ray, I think it's going to be a bloomin' good day, and I'm looking forward to building on the energy that we've shared today. I mean, great things are growing in our landscapes and our educational landscapes, Ray, and so it's just been a garden of opportunities to share with you today. And I just want to leave you with this moment of appreciation and a few moments of wordplay building on our Daisy theme.
Brad, there is no one like you in the world. I love chatting with you. You are so somebody special in my life. There's nobody like you.
I feel the same way, and I love getting together on Fridays. We really put the pedal to the metal and get things going. It's wonderful.
Guys, how do I can't end this. I'm sorry. We're just going to be live all day making flower jokes. We have to do it. It's just, yeah, we're not going anywhere. I'm sorry. We will stay here all morning. Brad, I hope you have a list going of what you've said so far and what we haven't said that we're going to get into, because the jokes can't end here.
And they won't, Ray. I mean, more shenanigans will follow 1 week from today, guaranteed. And it's been a pleasure sharing this space with you. And I wish you a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend ahead, my dear friend.
Bye, guys. See you later.